Let's get it, man. Everybody wants to say that they trust God. Everyone wants to say, "Oh, I trust God," right? But the way most of us live says the exact opposite of that. I'm not judging you because I was one of those people for sure. Welcome back, everybody. Everybody, I love you. Welcome back to the Gandee Show. We have breached 500 subscribers. Insane. I don't know how this is happening so fast, but this is a big deal to me. I really pour my heart into this because I believe in it. I believe what I'm telling you. I know that it's true. And I believe that God preserved me through heroin addiction so that I can tell you exactly what I'm telling you. And it don't matter if only one person hears it. So thank you. I want to start off by saying thank you so much. Again, everybody says, "Oh, I trust God," but our actions say otherwise. And I can't even say I was one of those people. I've gotten a lot better with it now, but it was a lot worse for me. It looks different for everybody. For me, you'll see that come out in like anxiety or me stressing about something or, bumping my head on the wall thinking, well, how am I going to figure this out? And the goal is to, instead of God being my last resort, like, oh, I'm in a jam now, God, please help me. God wants us to run to him first. And that's what I've been working on. But I see a lot of people saying, I trust God, but then stress out about everything. Try to control everything and then fall apart the moment things don't go their way. So the question is, do you actually trust God? Or do we just like the idea of it? Believe me, I understand that it is easier said than done. I'm going to give you a real life example of what this looks like in my life. My work schedule just got flipped completely upside down. Now, April 20th, I'll be 3 years sober. For me, I thrive in structure. I've spent the last almost 3 years building my schedule in a way that it becomes routine for me. Okay. And I work first shift. My body, my circadian rhythm is used to working first shift. That means I'm in bed by 8:30 at night and I'm up at 4:15 every day and I'm at work at 6 a.m. I went from first shift to working from 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. Dog. Not ideal, not at all comfortable, not what I would have chosen. Okay. My first reaction, fear. Now, where I'm at, what my company is entrusting me with, it is our biggest client. It is our biggest contract. Of course, I think, well, I've never done this before, and I'm worried that I'm not going to do a good job. So, right there, right away, there's, frustration, stress, and fear, trying to figure out how am I going to fix it, right? But then I checked myself because I'm over here saying in all my videos, especially my shorts, oh, trust God, I trust God, this and that. But then here I am panicking as soon as one thing becomes out of order, right? As soon as life doesn't look how I think it should, here I go with the fear and the anxiety and the frustration, right? And that's when it hit me. A lot of us, we don't have a trust problem. It's a control issue. For me, it's a control issue. And I can tell you partially where that stems from. It's a trauma thing. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, but in my world, if I wasn't in control of whatever was happening, nobody was. That's the role I played. Trusting God is not about what you say. Trusting God is not about like the things that you say. It's about how do you respond when things don't go your way. It's easy to trust God or say oh, I trust God when things are going smooth. When things are going the right way in your mind, in my little pea brain, when things are happening the way I think they should, of course it's going to be easy to say, oh, I trust God, right? When the money's good, when the relationship is going well, when everything feels comfortable, but real trust, that shows up when things are uncertain. But real trust, that shows up when things are uncertain. When you do not understand what's happening, or when you cannot foresee how the next day is going to look, or when you don't understand what's happening, or when you have a reason to worry, right? But you choose not to. Real trust is when you have a reason to worry, but you choose not to, okay? In the Bible, in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That means stop trying to figure everything out. Stop trying to control every outcome. Start surrendering. I posted a TikTok a couple of days ago, and here, I'm going to give you an example of how, I think a lot of us don't realize the ripple effect we have on people and how powerful our words are. Because all those things I just shared with you, you know, I'm over here stressing out about this situation. And I posted a TikTok video about what we're talking about my schedule changing. And somebody left a comment that changed it. It snapped me back. It snapped me back into reality. They said, you never know what God is doing in your life or why God is putting you in this situation. Maybe, just maybe, there's going to be somebody that I encounter during this schedule change that needs to hear a message of hope. What a cool idea that is. That changed everything for me. It's so crazy. Just think about that. That hadn't even crossed my mind, right? Here I am stressing out about whatever. And then I post a video, I read a comment. You never know why God has you in this situation. Maybe somebody that you're going to encounter during this schedule change needs to hear a message of hope. Maybe they need to hear something you have to say. Wow, well, that changes everything. That turns it into a mission. Now I'm on a mission, right? And it's crazy how just your perspective can change your reality. And I got to be real with you. It's not easy. We want control. I want control because like I said, if I didn't have control of whatever was going on in my life, then nobody did. Or at least that's how it felt. We want control, we want certainty. We want to know how everything's going to play out, right? And like I said, when you come from a background like mine, you know, addiction, chaos, and survival mode, control feels like safety. But the truth is this. Now, let's lean into this because listen, this is huge. The truth is that same need for control is the thing that keeps us anxious. Think about that. The same the same want and need to control is the same thing that keeps me in anxiety. It keeps me overwhelmed and stuck. Because when I'm focused on anxiety and things that are overwhelming me, I'm going to miss the mark. I'm going to miss that opportunity to deliver a message that somebody, you know what I mean? I'm going to miss that opportunity that God has given me, putting me in this position. And that's all because I'm trying to carry something that I was never meant to carry. And every time life doesn't go our way, we start to spiral. And it's not because God failed us, it's because we never truly let go. What changed for me was this: I stopped just saying, I trust God, and I started practicing it, okay? Daily. And not perfectly, but very intentionally. When something is not going my way or the way that I perceive that it should be going, instead of starting to panic and when I feel that anxiety starting to set in, I just pause. I take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I ask, God, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to show me, God? Please give me the eyes to see whatever it is that you're trying to show me. I started choosing gratitude even when I don't feel like it. Because think about it. Listen, man, I say this all the time, confirmation bias. Your brain is wired to continually search for evidence that supports your beliefs. Where do your beliefs come from? Your internal dialogue. What we say to ourselves is more important than anything anybody could ever say to us. Your thoughts become feelings, and your feelings become actions. We become our thoughts in some way or another at some point. Yes, there's going to always be something to be fearful of or be anxious about. But at the same time, if you truly get honest with yourself, you can find something to be grateful for in every situation. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're going through. I started reminding myself just because I feel off does not mean that God isn't working right now. And just because I may not understand what's happening or why does not mean that there is not a purpose for it. And most importantly, I stopped trying to control everything and I started to surrender. It's hard to put into words what a weight was lifted off of my chest and my shoulders when I started surrendering and giving it to God, things that were not meant for us to carry. So, if you're watching this right now, I want you to ask yourself one question. Am I trusting God or am I trying to control everything? Because you cannot do both. It is not possible to trust God and try to be the one in control. It doesn't math. The math don't math there. Here's something simple that you can start doing today. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, just take 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes to check in with yourself before you grab your phone, before you check your emails or your text messages. Just stop for 2 minutes. Take a breath and ask God, what am I holding on to right now that I need to give to you? It might sound silly, but I'm telling you, just try it. What do you have to lose? Write it down if you have to. Yeah, yes, I designed and published my own journal, and we actually just published our third journal last night. We hit the publish button last night. We made a journal that's more aimed towards faith. We have our recovery journals, which we're currently in the onboarding process with the Giaga New Leaf program, the very drug court program that I am an alumni of. I am in the process of becoming a partner with them to supply the participants with my recovery journals. We also made one that is aimed towards faith because you don't have to be in recovery to reap the benefits of journaling. And every Sunday when we go to church, I'm taking notes in my recovery journal. And I mean, paper's paper, right? As long as you put pen to paper. But I thrive in structure. So we'll talk more about that at another time. But let one thing go. Just one thing. Just try to write down on paper, what is one thing that I can let go of today? That is how trust is built. Trust is built in small daily decisions, repetition. If you need help with the structure, and that's exactly why I created these journals, to give everybody a place to check in and to be honest and to grow your faith and your trust in God. I think it's important. Also, journaling is just a place that you can organize your thoughts. And I want to share one statistic with you that really helped me because if you are anywhere in the arena of recovery and sobriety, you know that the odds are against us. There are so many positive benefits to journaling. Listen, when I first came into sobriety, I was so desperate to get sober and stay sober that I was willing to try anything. 42% of people who write their goals down on paper and revisit them accomplish their goals. I am one of those 42% of people. I am a living, breathing, walking testament that that statistic is a real statistic. You know, if this message resonated with you, I want you to take action. Grab one of these journals, dude. Please. This really helps support our channel. And this really helps me get these journals in the hands of other people who need them as well. And if you are interested in partnering with us with the Gandee Show and donating journals to treatment facilities or drug court programs, please reach out to me. This is something that I'm really passionate about and I'm really serious about it. Grab one of these journals and start applying this to your daily life and watch how it changes. And if you're on a journey of your own right now, recovery, faith, growth, I want to hear your story. I want to hear your story and I want to share your story with as many people who we can get it to. Because one of the biggest testaments, one of the biggest ways to show people that they are not alone is our testimonies. Our testimonies are so powerful. That's why, listen, I'm getting ready to share my testimony finally, 25 episodes later. We're working on it right now. We're going to film my testimony and we're going to put it out for you guys to see and hear and listen to and hopefully share and hopefully resonate with. But if you're on your own journey right now, please, I want to hear your story. You can email it to us at thegandeshow@gmail.com. I would be honored to share your story. And your testimony could be the thing that helps somebody else get through what they're going through today. Your testimony could be the very thing that helps somebody else get through what they are going through today. It's one of the strongest ways to show people that there is hope and that they're not alone. At the end of the day, trusting God does not mean that your life gets easier. Okay, I don't want to sit up here and act like listen, trusting God does not mean that your life just magically gets easier. But it absolutely does mean that you stop carrying what was never yours to hold. And that alone could take a huge weight off your shoulders. When you are able to stop carrying what was never yours in the first place, think about what that frees you up for. That's where real peace begins. If you took nothing else from this episode, I need you to remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God is not done with you yet. If you're alive, if you can hear my words right now, if you can hear this message, God is not done with you yet. You have a purpose. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I love you. I'm out.